I'll start with the briefest of stories. When I was at the university, in college, I was studying history, but I had a very close friend who was an art professor. He bought an old church, one of those old wooden churches in the Midwest, which was no longer being used. And he began to renovate it into his home. And occasionally on the weekends, a few of us would go over to his house to help him with his renovations. I once looked at him and I said, "Mac, when are you going to be done with your renovations?" He said, "Mark, I won't be done until I'm dead." And it really made me think. His idea was this, that the home he lived in would constantly evolve and change. And that's really how we look at schools as well. Schools are things that are constantly evolving and changing. So thinking about school improvement, I would say this. First of all, I'm always very nervous about talking about schools and improvement because you tend to use the word I a lot, and it's never about one person. It's always about teams of people and what they've done together. So I always use the word we in terms of what we do together. School is about a collective effort. Second of all, and this is very important, that everyone involved in school improvement has to remember that what we change is not a condemnation of the past. It doesn't mean that the school was bad before we began to change it, but change is simply part of life. As we grow and evolve as human beings, we change, and schools in their life change. This school has been great for many years, and it will continue to be great long after I'm gone. My opportunity in being here and working with my colleagues here at ASF is to continually improve the school. Now the question is, what sort of improvement do we talk about? During the interview process, I was asked by several groups, what improvements will you bring? What changes will you bring? I wasn't avoiding the question when I said, I can't really say that until I come. Why? Because the change and improvement for any particular school is dependent on location, on mission, on place, on the population and community you serve. Until you thoroughly understand a school, you can't really begin to talk about what improvements are possible or even necessary. Our mission as a school is to do everything we can to provide an education which opens the door that that child wants to walk through. When a child graduates, or even when a child who's with us for 5 or 6 years who leaves to go to another school, have we opened the maximum numbers of doors and windows to their future and prepared them to be the person they aspire to be?